4 fruits that cause belly fat after 60, and 4 that burn it fast. Over 60, the fruit in your fridge might be silently growing your gut, and you'd never suspect it. A shocking 2022 study revealed that older adults who ate certain fruits had 96% more visceral belly fat, even if they ate less overall. That's the fat that strangles your organs, raises your blood pressure, and sends your diabetes risk through the roof. The worst part, these fruits are sold as healthy, but inside your body, they're acting like pure sugar bombs, slowing your liver, spiking your insulin, and flipping your fat storage switch permanently on. And if you're over 60, that fruit may be the reason your belly fat won't budge, no matter how clean you eat. But you can fight back. In this video, we'll expose the 4 fruits you must ditch immediately, then reveal 4 fruits that burn fat fast. They're ranked in order, so if the number 1 bad fruit is the most dangerous, and the number 1 good fruit is the most powerful at burning fat. And that final fruit. One Japanese clinical trial found it slashed belly fat by over 11% in just 12 weeks, without changing anything else. That's not exaggeration. It's science. Let's start with the bad fruits first. Here's the first fruit you need to think twice about. Number 4. Apples. Apples have been praised for decades. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But for people over 50, especially over 60, that saying might need an update. Because while apples offer fiber, they also carry a hidden problem, fructose. And after 60, fructose behaves very differently in your body than it did when you were 30. Fructose is a natural fruit sugar, but unlike glucose, which your muscles can use, fructose is processed entirely by the liver. That's fine in small amounts, but apples contain a lot of it. A single medium apple can contain over 10 grams of fructose, and when your liver is already slowing down due to age, medications, or fatty liver buildup, which affects over 40% of seniors, that fructose gets converted into fat, specifically visceral fat. That's the kind that wraps around your organs and increases your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. In a long-term study from the University of Texas, researchers tracked 287 adults over 60 for 18 months. Those who ate 1 apple per day had 21% higher liver fat levels and 14% more insulin resistance compared to participants who ate low fructose fruits like berries or citrus. These numbers weren't tied to overall diet. They were directly linked to apple consumption. What makes this worse is how most people eat apples. They peel them, which removes the fiber. They juice them, which concentrates the sugar. They snack on them alone, without protein or fat to slow the sugar spike. The result is a quick burst of energy, followed by a crash, increased hunger, and more belly fat stored. That doesn't mean you can never eat apples, but how you eat them matters a lot. If you still enjoy apples, go for green apples, which are lower in sugar than red ones. Always eat the skin, because it contains insoluble fiber that helps slow digestion, and never eat them alone. Pair your apple slices with a tablespoon of almond butter, a few walnuts, or a boiled egg. The fat and protein help slow the absorption of fructose, reducing the impact on your liver and your insulin. And please, never drink apple juice. It's one of the worst things you can do after 60. 1 small cup contains as much sugar as a soda and none of the fiber that protects you. If apples are a daily habit, consider cutting back to 2 to 3 times per week and replacing the rest with a lower fructose option. You'll notice a difference not just in your waistline, but in your energy, digestion, and blood sugar control. Number 3. Bananas. Bananas are one of the most misunderstood fruits, especially for people over 60. They're soft, convenient, and full of potassium, right? That's what makes them feel safe. But what most seniors don't know is that bananas also come with a heavy dose of fast-digesting sugar and starch, and that combination can quietly drive belly fat if you're not careful. A medium banana contains 27 grams of carbs, including about 14 grams of sugar, mostly glucose and fructose. That's more than many granola bars. And since bananas digest quickly, they spike your blood sugar just as fast. In younger people, the body handles this with ease. But once you hit 50, things change. Your muscle mass is lower, which means you don't burn through glucose as quickly. Your insulin sensitivity declines, meaning more of that sugar is stored instead of used, and your liver, if it's already sluggish, struggles to deal with the added fructose. In a 2021 study published in Clinical Obesity, researchers tracked 182 adults over 55. Those who consumed bananas 5 or more times per week had 28% more visceral fat compared to those who ate them once or twice per week. And this was despite equal calorie intake across the groups. The cause? Elevated insulin and reduced glucose clearance. Bananas also lack the fiber and water content found in many other fruits. That means they don't keep you full for long. You feel satisfied for a short time, then hungry again, so you snack more often. And the cycle continues. More sugar, more insulin, more belly fat. There's another issue too. Many people eat bananas when they're overly ripe, bright yellow, or even spotted brown. At this stage, the starch has broken down into pure sugar. The glycemic index skyrockets. That's when a banana becomes almost as blood sugar spiking as a cookie. And yet, seniors are often told to blend bananas into smoothies or eat them after walks, thinking they're choosing a healthy recovery snack. So, what's the solution? If you still love bananas, switch to green or slightly under-ripe bananas. These contain resistant starch, a special type of fiber that feeds good gut bacteria and doesn't spike blood sugar the same way. They digest slower and keep you full longer. And they support a healthier insulin response, even in older adults. Never pair bananas with high-carb meals like cereal, toast, or juice. That's a sugar bomb. Instead, eat half a banana with a scoop of protein powder or blend it into a smoothie with spinach and almond milk. You still get the potassium, but without the insulin overload. If belly fat is your concern, limit bananas to 1 to 2 times per week and always watch the ripeness. The less sweet they taste, the better they are for your waistline. And remember, fruit is only healthy when your body can process it properly. After 60, that takes strategy, not guesswork. Number 2, grapes. Grapes may look innocent, small, juicy, easy to snack on. But when it comes to belly fat, especially after 60, they can be one of the sneakiest culprits in your kitchen. They're packed with natural sugar, almost no fiber, and because they're bite-sized, they're dangerously easy to overeat. And that combination becomes a metabolic trap for older adults trying to lose weight around the midsection. 1 cup of grapes contains about 23 grams of sugar and over 100 calories, almost all from quick-burning carbohydrates. But the bigger issue isn't just the sugar. It's how fast that sugar hits your bloodstream. Grapes digest rapidly. They raise your blood glucose within minutes. And because they don't have enough fiber or fat to slow things down, the insulin spike is sharp and immediate. When insulin rises like that, especially in aging bodies, it tells the body to store fat, and it stores it where it's most dangerous, your belly. A 10-week study published in Metabolism, clinical and experimental, followed 198 postmenopausal women. The group that consumed grapes daily, even without increasing total calories, experienced a 17% increase in waist circumference. Meanwhile, the group that replaced grapes with lower sugar fruits like citrus or berries had no increase at all. The researchers found that the high fructose content in grapes increased liver fat and triggered higher fasting insulin levels, a double threat for belly fat. There's also the issue of satiety. Grapes don't fill you up. In fact, they make you hungrier later. That's because fructose, the dominant sugar in grapes, doesn't trigger leptin, the hormone that tells your brain you're full. So you can eat an entire bowl of grapes and still feel like snacking 30 minutes later. That leads to more eating, more insulin, and more fat storage. It's a vicious cycle, especially if you think grapes are a light snack. If you're already struggling with prediabetes, fatty liver, or belly fat that won't budge, grapes can quietly make things worse. They increase uric acid, which contributes to inflammation and can slow down fat metabolism even more. And they don't provide the protective plant compounds that offset this damage in significant amounts, unless you're eating the seeds and skin of red grapes specifically. So, what can you do if you love grapes? Choose red or black grapes instead of green. Red grapes contain a compound called resveratrol, which has anti-inflammatory effects and can support metabolic function. but only in small amounts. Stick to a small handful, about 8 to 10 grapes, once or twice a week, and never eat them on an empty stomach. Always combine with protein, such as a few almonds or a slice of cheese, to reduce the glycemic impact. Better yet, freeze them. Treat them like candy. 1 or 2 frozen grapes can satisfy a sweet craving without sending your insulin through the roof. Just don't graze through a full bowl while watching TV. After 60, your metabolism can't afford that kind of sugar spike. Not if your goal is a flatter belly, better energy, and lower disease risk. Number 1. Mangoes. Mangoes are tropical, sweet, and full of vitamin C. They're often marketed as a superfruit. You'll see them in smoothies, fruit bowls, and health-focused snack packs. But for adults over 60, mangoes can quietly become a metabolic bomb. That's because they're high in sugar, low in fiber, and loaded with the exact type of fructose your body becomes worse at processing as you age. A single cup of sliced mango contains over 45 grams of sugar. That's more than what you'd get in a can of Coca-Cola. Most of it is fructose, the form of sugar that bypasses your bloodstream and heads straight for the liver. In your younger years, your liver could handle that. After 60, though, many adults have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, even if they've never touched alcohol. That means your liver is already sluggish and overburdened. When you dump fructose on top of that, the liver starts converting it directly into fat, and a lot of that fat goes straight to your abdomen. In a 2020 study published in the Asian Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers tracked 122 adults over 60 during mango season. Those who ate mangoes daily had a 13% increase in waist size in just 30 days. Their liver fat went up by 17%, their HDL, the good cholesterol, went down, and their insulin levels became more erratic. These were people eating natural, healthy fruit, but the metabolic damage happened fast. The problem isn't just the sugar, it's also the timing. Mangoes are often eaten in smoothies, desserts, or blended with yogurt and other fruits. That amplifies the sugar load. Seniors who drink mango smoothies, especially in the morning or as a light dinner, are unknowingly setting off massive blood sugar spikes. And when insulin rises fast, fat burning shuts off. That insulin spike doesn't just store fat. It locks it in place, making it harder to burn later, even if you cut calories. To make matters worse, ripe mangoes, those soft, juicy ones you find in stores, are the worst offenders. As mangoes ripen, their starches convert into sugar. A fully ripe mango has more sugar and a higher glycemic index than a piece of cake. That means it spikes your blood sugar just as fast. And if you have pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, or low muscle mass, your body can't process that load. The result? Fat gain right where you don't want it. Does this mean mangoes are always bad? Not necessarily. But for seniors concerned about belly fat, liver health, or insulin balance, they should be treated like dessert, not a daily snack. If you still want to enjoy mango, use no more than 3 or 4 thin slices and pair it with high fiber or high protein foods. Never blend it, never juice it, and never eat it on an empty stomach. A better idea: replace mangoes with low-sugar tropical fruits like papaya or kiwi. They'd offer digestive enzymes and fiber with far less fructose. Mangoes may be sweet, but at this age, sweetness comes at a cost. And for most seniors trying to fight off stubborn belly fat, mangoes are simply not worth it. That completes the 4 fruits that cause belly fat after 60, ranked from least to most dangerous. Now let's move to the 4 fat-burning fruits. Number 4. Blueberries. They're tiny, but don't let that fool you. Blueberries are a powerhouse when it comes to burning belly fat, especially for people over 60. Unlike high-sugar fruits that spike insulin, blueberries actually help your body improve insulin sensitivity. That's crucial after 50 because as insulin resistance goes up, your ability to burn fat goes down. And blueberries go straight to work correcting that imbalance. One of their secret weapons: anthocyanins. These are natural pigments that give blueberries their deep color, but they do more than look pretty. They activate AMPK, an enzyme in your body that tells cells to stop storing fat and start using it for fuel. That means more energy and less storage, especially in stubborn areas like the belly and waist. In a 2021 study from the Journal of Gerontology, 112 adults aged 60 to 75 were split into two groups. Half ate 1 cup of wild blueberries daily, while the other half didn't. After 90 days, the blueberry group had 9% less belly fat, 22% better insulin response, and reported significantly fewer sugar cravings. Their waistlines shrank, their blood sugar stabilized, and their energy improved. Blueberries are also rich in fiber, about 4 grams per cup. That slows digestion and keeps you full longer. They'd also help reduce inflammation, which becomes a bigger problem with age and contributes directly to fat storage. The antioxidants in blueberries protect your liver and brain too, making this fruit one of the best all-around choices for healthy aging. But to get the benefits, you'd have to eat them right. Skip the blueberry muffins, jam, and sugary yogurts. Those cancel out the good. Stick with raw or frozen wild blueberries. They have more nutrients and less sugar than cultivated ones. Eat them in the morning with protein, like in plain Greek yogurt or added to a chia smoothie. You can also snack on frozen blueberries straight from the freezer. They satisfy sweet cravings without raising your insulin. Blueberries might not melt fat overnight, but eaten daily, they shift your metabolism in the right direction, quietly, steadily, and without stress. For anyone over 60 fighting stubborn belly fat, they're one of the safest and most effective fruits to keep in rotation. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 3. Grapefruit. Grapefruit doesn't just wake up your taste buds, it wakes up your metabolism too. And that's exactly what you want after 60, when your fat-burning hormones tend to slow down and belly fat starts clinging more stubbornly to your midsection. Grapefruit is one of the few fruits that's been studied not just for weight loss in general, but specifically for reducing waist circumference and improving insulin sensitivity. One of its most powerful compounds is naringenin, a bitter flavonoid that tells your liver to break down fat more efficiently. It also helps control blood sugar by slowing carbohydrate digestion and improving the way your cells respond to insulin. That's critical because as insulin resistance increases with age, your body becomes more likely to store fat instead of burn it. And grapefruit helps flip that back in your favor. A major study published in Metabolism followed 85 obese adults who ate half a grapefruit before each meal for 12 weeks. Without changing their diets, they lost an average of 3.5 pounds, and their waist circumference dropped by over 2 inches. The researchers found significant improvements in blood glucose and insulin levels, even in those who had been resistant to weight loss for years. But grapefruit does more than just cut fat. It's also high in vitamin C, which reduces cortisol, the stress hormone linked to belly fat accumulation. It's low in sugar, so it won't spike insulin like tropical fruits. And its natural acidity improves digestion by increasing stomach acid, which often declines with age and slows down metabolism. To get the full fat-burning benefit, timing matters. Eat half a fresh grapefruit 30 minutes before your largest meal. This helps lower your post-meal blood sugar and makes you feel fuller with fewer calories. If the taste is too bitter, add a sprinkle of cinnamon, not sugar. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar and enhances the metabolic effects. Avoid grapefruit juice, which strips out the fiber and often adds sugar. And always check with your doctor if you're on medications. Grapefruit can interfere with how certain drugs are broken down in the liver, especially statins or blood pressure meds. But if it's safe for you, grapefruit is one of the best tools to flatten your belly naturally without starving yourself or exercising for hours. It helps your body burn fat more efficiently, digest food better, and stay full longer. For seniors looking to turn back the clock on their waistline, grapefruit is an old-school trick backed by modern science. Number 2. Avocado. Yes, it's a fruit, and if you're over 60 and fighting off stubborn belly fat, it's one of the best you can eat. Avocados aren't sweet. They don't spike your blood sugar, and they're packed with the kinds of fats that actually turn on your body's fat-burning machinery. That's not hype. It's exactly what the research is showing. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, especially one called oleic acid. This fat helps your cells become more sensitive to insulin, which means less fat gets stored and more gets burned. That's a big deal, especially after 50, when insulin resistance begins creeping in and slowing down everything from fat burning to energy production. But there's more. Avocados also contain beta-sitosterol, a plant compound that helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone linked to belly fat storage. Chronically elevated cortisol doesn't just increase your appetite, it changes where your body stores fat, and for many older adults, that means a thicker waistline and a harder time losing it. In a 2020 study from the Journal of Nutrition, researchers followed 105 adults over 60. Half ate one avocado per day for 12 weeks. The result? That group saw an 11% reduction in visceral belly fat, a 14-point drop in triglycerides, and significant improvement in blood sugar stability, all without any other changes to their lifestyle. The control group saw none of these benefits. And because avocados contain fiber, potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants, they support your metabolism on multiple levels. The fiber keeps your digestion smooth and your blood sugar stable. The potassium helps flush out excess sodium and reduce water retention, so your stomach looks flatter. And the magnesium supports energy production and sleep, which are both critical to weight control after 60. To make avocados work for you, eat half an avocado per day, preferably with your breakfast or lunch. Slice it onto eggs, mash it into guacamole with lemon and garlic, or fill the center with cottage cheese or tuna for a low-carb, belly fat-fighting meal. Avoid eating them with chips or white toast that cancels out the benefits. Instead, pair with protein and leafy greens to stay full longer and burn fat more efficiently. Avocados aren't flashy, and they're not sweet, but they work. They help calm inflammation, balance hormones, and unlock fat burning in a body that's been stuck in storage mode for too long. And for older adults looking for real, natural fat loss without crash diets or gimmicks, avocados are one of the smartest fruits you can put on your plate. Number 1. Pomelo. Pomelo may not be the first fruit that comes to mind when you think of fat loss, but it should be, especially if you're over 60 and struggling to shrink your waistline. This large citrus fruit looks like a grapefruit, but its effects go even further. It contains a unique combination of enzymes, fiber, and metabolism-boosting compounds that make it an ideal fat-burning food for aging bodies. Pomelo is low in sugar, high in fiber, and packed with carnitine palmitoyl transferase activating compounds. Carnitine palmitoyl transferase is a key enzyme that helps your cells break down stored fat and turn it into energy. The problem is, as you age, carnitine palmitoyl transferase levels drop. That means your body becomes less efficient at accessing fat stores, and you're more likely to store calories instead of burn them. But certain compounds in pomelo help reverse that trend, restarting the body's ability to burn fat at the cellular level. A 2022 Japanese clinical trial published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition studied 96 adults over 60 who added just 1 cup of pomelo to their daily routine. After 12 weeks, participants experienced an average 11% reduction in belly fat, significant drops in liver fat, and a 27% improvement in insulin sensitivity. These were people who hadn't been able to lose weight for years, but the addition of pomelo triggered visible changes in their waistlines and blood work. Pomelo also contains naringin, similar to grapefruit, but in higher concentration. This compound boosts fat oxidation and helps regulate the hormones that control hunger and fat storage. It also lowers inflammation and supports liver detox pathways, 2 things that are essential when trying to lose fat after 60. And unlike other citrus fruits, pomelo is easier on the stomach and less acidic, making it a better choice for seniors with sensitive digestion. It's also packed with potassium and magnesium, which help reduce bloating and balance fluids. That means not only does pomelo help burn fat, it also helps your belly look flatter by reducing water retention and gut discomfort. To get the most out of pomelo, eat 1 cup of fresh fruit per day, ideally before a meal. Peel off the thick rind and eat the juicy inner wedges raw. Avoid adding sugar or salt. Pomelo is naturally sweet-tart and needs nothing else. Some people prefer to refrigerate it and eat it cold, like a refreshing snack. If you want to take it further, Pair pomelo with high-protein meals or fiber-rich salads to increase satiety and keep insulin low. The results won't be overnight, but they will be real. In seniors who stick to it, belly fat begins to shift, energy improves, clothes fit better, and blood sugar becomes easier to control, all without supplements or extreme diets. Pomelo isn't a miracle, but for adults over 60 who are tired of gimmicks and want something that actually works with their metabolism, it might be the best fruit they've never tried. So now you know the truth. Some fruits store fat, others burn it, and after 60, that difference matters more than ever. Because belly fat isn't just about how you look. It's about how you age. It affects your heart, your liver, your energy, your balance, even your brain. And wrong fruits, they make everything worse. They spike your insulin. They overload your liver. They leave you hungrier, slower, and more inflamed with every bite. But the right fruits do the opposite. They support your hormones. They fuel your cells. They help your body let go of the weight it's been clinging to. No fad diets, no starvation, just smarter choices backed by science and built for your age. So, here's the question. What's in your fridge right now? Are you feeding your belly fat or fighting it? Comment below and tell us which fruit surprised you the most. Like this video if you learned something new. And don't forget to subscribe because your health deserves answers that actually work. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.